So what problem do you solve? In today's world of really selling anything, whether it's a physical product or a service, and that service in real life, service online, a digital service, that's really the question. It used to be, who do you serve and what do you sell them? But consumers' exposure, consumers' knowledge, consumers' habits have shifted to now it's really, what problem do you solve? This is just one of the critical questions that you need to answer before you launch a product, or even if you've already launched something you should sort of be revisiting with yourself at least yearly to make sure what you're doing is aligned with who you're trying to serve. Hi, I'm Brenna Murphy. I'm the Merch Nerd, and I help people use personalized, customized products and just other pieces of physical merch to help build relationships, build long-term relationships, and really serve and solve their ideal customers' problems better. All right, so let's go through the critical questions. Again, starting with number one, what problem do you solve? Which leads us to number two, who do you solve it for? Now again, this is a shift. It used to really start with who do you serve, and then what do you sell them? And we would find one specific person, one ideal customer as the model for everything that we did. The shift is now really focusing on what is the problem you solve, and there can be a number of who's that you solve that problem for. So for example, Merch Nerd, I solve the problem of integrating merch in easily and successfully into your content business to help move your customers from your online platform into a list that you own, and to build a long-term relationship with them beyond just them watching a video or buying a single item. So who do I solve that for? So it's not just one person, it's really any content creator looking to integrate merch but being overwhelmed with the amount of research it takes, not knowing how to choose between print on demand versus direct manufacturing versus drop shipping. How do you navigate between those? Do you self-fulfill? So all those questions. So one of my big problems I solve is doing the research for you, kind of having nerded out on that myself, giving you a quick overview of the options out there so you can make decisions, but also then helping guide those decisions for, how many items are you going to sell? When do you move from doing print on demand to just making it yourself and shipping it yourself? What are the easy ways to fulfill? How do you surprise and delight? So sort of the actual nuts and bolts of how do you take merch from your brain into a real thing and deliver it to your customers. And then again, using that to not just sell random things, but really make it meaningful, and integrating that into the problems that you're solving. So what problem do you solve? Top of your head, what are you thinking? What do you solve? And then who do you solve it for? Brainstorm all the different who's that have that problem that you can solve it for. So number three is the transformation that you're going to take people on. So kind of how do you solve that problem? So for me, the transformation, and I'm still putting this out there to kind of finesse it, but basically frustrated creators who have tried print on demand and have not made enough money, and the amount of time it takes and the quality of the products is really cruddy, or people who haven't even dipped their toe in the water because they're overwhelmed by all of the details, or people who are kind of, again, frustrated and scared by the fact that they've built audiences on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, but the platforms can change overnight and those audiences can kind of become meaningless. So want to really make sure that that relationship they've already built with their audience can turn into something that they can sort of control, not the audience necessarily or at all, but they control the gate to that audience, whether versus YouTube controlling it or Instagram or TikTok. They kind of can move that audience into a platform where they have direct access and it's not through somebody else's platform. And using merch as a way to create that transition, ease that transition, and kind of be the little treasure to help that transition. So what is your transformation? Where are your people? Hopefully they're frustrated, because it's a lot easier to solve problems for frustrated people. They're a lot more motivated to solve those problems. But where are they now? And where are you taking them? So for me, I don't have an exact endpoint yet, but something where they have a certain number of people on their email list, they're emailing them regularly, and they have a merch blueprint woven into their business. And number 4, what is your special sauce with that? How are you different? Who are you speaking to? What twist do you have on that solution to that problem? Now, this doesn't have to be ridiculously unique. In fact, you don't want it to be so unique that nobody's ever heard of it, and so they're going to be hesitant based on how new and weird it is, or new and, sorry, using the word weird, just unusual, unfamiliar. You want something that they know enough about that they're willing to go on this ride with you, but maybe the way you do it is perfect for them. And then the next critical question is, who are you? And how do you want this business to look for you? What does success look like for you? That was a question that I just heard in a talk that I thought was such a perfect way to kind of ask what are your values? What do you want? What does your success look like? Because you don't want to build a business or a plan that you hate running. And I think, like with anything, is you know what you want and you communicate that up front to the people you're working with. Again, they can decide if you are their person or not, but also they know what to expect, and you are not always jumping for somebody's beck and call. You can kind of lay out like, hey, here's what that looks like. And then finally, and this kind of is a really important question that we're asking it late, what's the why? Why do they want to change? Why do you want to help them? Why are you called to this? And those are all questions that we need to answer for us, our businesses, our audiences, before you even get to the nitty-gritty of the how. And you're going to cover a little bit of that and what does success look like for you. But that exactly how it's going to happen is the last thing you think about, because that is going to be driven, the answer to that is going to be informed by the answers to all the other questions. So for example, if the problem you solve is you provide drinking vessels that are super utilitarian but also fun and appeal to and help people stay hydrated on busy days, then you create something called the Stanley Cup. And the way that you bring the fun into the utilitarianism is you have a ton of different colors, and you have some accessories that you add on, or you encourage people to do stickers, but you sell this colorful, very functional, fits in car holders, utilitarian way for people to stay hydrated when they have busy schedules and are on their feet all day and need to move things around. So this is a cup with a handle. That's super useful. It has a straw, so you don't have to open and close it. That's super useful. And so the problem they solve is helping people stay hydrated and helping them have something they want to carry around for that fluid to be in. Their how is the cup. But again, that's their last consideration. Their transformation is you were dehydrated, you always lost your water bottle, the fact that you had to unscrew the top took too long, it was likely to fall over and spill, and so if you're a nurse, you couldn't really use a screw cap water bottle because of the worry of spilling on a computer or on medical records. If you're a teacher, again, you could spill on your papers, you could spill on your computer. You don't have time to unscrew and rescrew that cap. You need something that is ready to go at all times, but also won't spill, and you're going to carry it around. So it'd be nice if it was kind of cute and fun. But also you're willing to spend some money to have something that's going to last a long time. So the transformation is dehydrated, frustrated, want to drink water person to happy, joyful, hydrated human whose cup is a fun accessory to carry around. And it's become a status symbol. It's a little expensive for what it is. It's something that carries water. But it's pricey enough that it's not just an anybody can get. it has that little bit of status edge, which is also fun. And now it's become a collector's item, which is another kind of YOLO problem that people want, a desire that people have. So what is that for you? What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? And there can be multiple who's in that, but who are your who's? What is the transformation you take people on? And why? Why do they want it? Why do you give it? Oh, and I missed one. For the why, what is your special take? What is your special sauce on that? All right, guys, these are the things I'm going to be working through the next couple weeks. And at the end, I will have a worksheet, kind of handout, deep dive for you, so you can work through this too. But start thinking about it now, because that's the core. That's the core of every decision you're going to make in your business, is understanding the problem you solve and the people you solve it for. And when you get that, every decision becomes so much easier. You can be so much more confident in it. And you know that if it doesn't work, it's a tweak that's needed, not a throw it all out and start over. And trust me, that is an amazing place to be. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow for day 3 of our 28-day Just Talking Challenge. Bye. Signing off as the Merch Nerd.